Hello and welcome to JPWHU Radio with me, your host John Phillips, also known as JP. On today's podcast, we are not talking about West Ham, we are talking about Saturday's Norway versus England game, the consequences of that, and also the potential of the semi-final against Argentina. If you want to listen to the podcast in full, then by all means, please do become a patron. Otherwise, let's get to it. So for those that have followed the YouTube channel for a good few years now, I've done a lot of England content on that over. In actual fact, when I started JPWHU TV, one of the first things I really did was the 2018 Euros. Really tried it. Really tried to do quite a fair bit of it. I mean, it was before it actually became JPWHU TV. It was when I was doing my own stuff itself. Just literally just talking about anything I possibly could have before I narrowed it down. But guys, as I say, being an England fan and being a West Ham fan is very, very difficult because you're disappointed every single bloody week. Every 2 years, you really, really are. But yeah, so let's have a talk about it. Let's go into the details of how we got here, and this will cement the reason why Tuchel was unhappy on Saturday night's game against Norway. A lot of us were, myself included, with the performance. But let's go all the way back to the original Group K qualifiers back in September last year. Okay, the first game of the Group K qualifying rounds was England 2, Andorra 0. Next game, England 5, Serbia 0. And then the next game over that in October was 5-0 again over Latvia. So we'd scored 12 goals and not conceded a penny, right? Then the next qualifying round in November, England 2, Serbia 0, Albania 0, England 2. So we are looking at we're looking at 16 goals scored, with clean sheets, and no disrespect to the teams that we've been playing in that build up, should have been. It's the way it should have been. And then obviously, let's jump forward to this year. Because I'm not going into it. Basically, we scored a hell of a lot, kept clean sheets all the way, and no disrespect to to any fans listening to this that supported the teams that we were playing in the Group K. We should have beaten. It's just not England hubris. We invented the bleeding game, therefore we have the divine right to win it. We haven't. No side has, regardless of what the Germans and the Brazilians think, and the Spanish for that matter, and the Italians. Yes, okay, you guys have won more than we have, but there's no divine right in any shape or form. And likewise with the Premier League as well, which we'll talk about another time. So, okay, let's go on to the game qualifiers. The first game of the World Cup for England. England 4, Croatia 2. The game of the first round. It really genuinely was. Now, I'm saying that from a biased England perspective, because I don't watch and haven't watched any other team play in the World Cup or Euros for I can't remember how long. Honestly, I don't care about the other positions. I am not that obsessed with football that I'm going out and watching every single team play. Nah, don't care. Really, really don't care about that. Okay, so yeah, as I say, England 4, Croatia 2. The first time we conceded since the Group K starters, and what a team to concede to. Again, not the best of England performances in any shape or form. Really, really was. It was frustrating to watch. But we did what we needed to do. At the end of the day, we won the game. There was a lot of issues, especially at half time. Christ, I was seething at half time for that game. We go to the next game, 23rd of June, England 0, Ghana 0. We were exceptionally lucky not to concede in that game. Exceptionally lucky. Ghana had some great play. So they've got some very, very good players in there. Really. And likewise, Panama, we beat 2-0 a few days later. Again, could have been a very, very different game. Very, very different result as well, for that matter. There's so many things that went wrong in that game, but we were able to bum through it as we always do, and get the result out of it. Then, of course, let's talk about this month's worth of football, the Republic of Congo game. Oh, God, we were very, very lucky to come out of that 2-1. Very, very lucky to win that game. There were, again, some very, very good players in there, and they absolutely gave us an absolute mauling from that point of view. From a defensive point of view, they were on top. They were exceptionally talented going forward. We just couldn't break through. And then let's now talk about the Mexico game, which we won 3-2. You can't think of a better England game than that. I think personally, the only other game I've watched that really comes to mind that was any on par with that would have to be Italia 90 and the Germany game, West Germany. I think, yeah, I'd say that. I think that was the hardest. I think that was the hardest and best performance since Italia 90, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, obviously, some of you guys were going to say what about England Germany with Michael Owen's hat trick, blah blah blah. There are, but honestly, the first game for me personally, that's how far back. I mean, that Italia 90 was the first England tournament I remember. I do remember bits of Mexico 86. Little bits of the Euro 88, but I mean, I remember it was very, very difficult, very, very difficult. But as I say, for me personally, the first tournament I remember in full is Italia 90. Just shows you my age. Everybody around about my age it's all Italia 90. But yeah, so yes, okay. So we got through that at 3-2, and I said on the podcast just gone that as great as England were against Mexico, I still think there was another level that England can get to. And did we see that Saturday night? Did we bollocks? That was. Oh, there were so many things wrong in the Norway England game. I mean, we were very, very fortunate to win that. Very, very fortunate, and fair play to Jude Bellingham to getting both goals. Jude Bellingham's a player that I don't get all the hype. He's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. He's got a great potential, and he is a great player. As I say, he's a great player. I just think there's been many times during this tournament where he's given the ball away. He's dived way too much. Again, showing my age. Because that's all the FIFA tips and tricks and all that sort of stuff, what everybody loves to see nowadays. But with me, I like to see pure football. But at the same point, guys, I'm getting pissed off with Harry Kane's diving. Any little touch, and Bellingham does it as well, for that matter. But any time an England player is touched, it's like they've been shot. It's ridiculous, which is one of the reasons why Kane didn't get the free kick or that he was clearly after. And likewise, a few other bits and pieces during that game. But guys, I maintain, and I agree with Lee Dixon. And let's before we talk about the first goal being conceded, I will give the England players some credit on this, because they were playing in 34 degrees heat. I think they were saying 36, something like that. Pitch side level, and apparently Sam Matterface and Lee Dixon were saying we're up in the gantry. It was like 42 degrees, Celsius up there. So, yeah, have to give them a little bit of credit on this one, because that's unbearable. And also, as crap as he was in the first half, Declan Rice wasn't fit enough. It was literally touch and go. I get the reason why Tuchel did put the side out that he did, because it was the best that was available. But you could clearly see from his dead balls, that Declan Rice just was not on it at all. So let's just have a recap of the starting 11 for England against Norway. So Pickford in goal, Konsa, Stones, Gray, and O'Reilly making up the back four. Konsa, I have a little bit of an issue with at right back. Don't get me wrong. I think he's done very, very well for himself. I just don't think has the ability to do that position moving, all the time. But at the same point, again, as it is with West Ham, right back has always been an issue for England. Always has been. Rice and Anderson in the defensive midfield positions, with Madueke, Bellingham, and Gordon in these attacking positions, supporting Harry Kane on his own up front. As I say, we are going to be screwed when Kane retires in probably 3-4 years, whatever it's going to be, 2030, I reckon. He hasn't got much longer, but don't get me wrong, he's a goal machine. He will fight till the very, very last, in the similar way that Gary Lineker was, if and when he ever got outside the box. I mean, there's no reason. There's the reason why his production company is called Goal Hanger. And fair play to him. You can make him. You can laugh about himself, and fair play to him for that. But yeah, so as I say, so it's just it was just the goal itself that we conceded, 100% across. It's a Konchesky 2006 FA Cup final goal, 100%. 100%. Don't get me wrong. I did say in the previous, I'm gonna say preview then. In the previous podcast, I said that we need to keep Haaland quiet just to have any chance of going through, and we did. Didn't mention Odegaard, and I apologise for that. Especially bearing in mind that Odegaard is an Arsenal player that I've really liked and had a lot of praise and admiration for over the last 4 or 5 years now. But yeah. So, but we kept both of those guys silent, and that's exactly what we needed, and that's good from that point of view. Really, really was good from that point of view. But as I say, the goal could have been avoided. With the first 15, 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes, we were really on top. Really, really, just showing that we're up for this game. Blah blah blah. And to be fair, so were Norway. They had some very, very good chances as well, for that matter. But the goal was scored at the time on the 35th, 36th minute, because it was when England were being very complacent, and it's just and they took advantage of that. And fair play to them. That's exactly what you got to do. And as I say, we came back and we were able to build up, and the equaliser coming right at the death in added time in the first half. A great ball from Gordon to Bellingham. Really was a poacher's tap in, if I remember correctly. My memory's a little bit foggy because I was trying to stay awake for that. But brilliant goal from Bellingham, as was the second in extra time as well, for that matter. Very, very good, very, very good goals. Exactly what we needed to see. But it's England, and we do it. It was doing it the hard way, and that's why you could see Tuchel was constantly going mad at them every water break, and just you could hear him going at them on the touchline constantly, because it was blind bloody luck that we got through to the semis now. And don't get me wrong, I am so happy that we are through to the semis. I'm so happy, and we've got Argentina to face in the semis now, and it's going to be an interesting one. Thank you for listening to the podcast on the free platforms. If you want to hear my extended review preview of the England-Argentina semi-final, then please become a Patreon. Links in the description. Otherwise, guys, enjoy the week, and I will speak to you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.